It's 3 in the morning and you're wide awake. You aren't worried about work tomorrow or that bill you need to pay. No, you're in a mental courtroom replaying a conversation from 6 hours ago. The one where that person said that thing, that sharp, unnecessary, rude comment. And in this late-night retrial, you are brilliant. You weren't. You're witty, you're sharp, you're in control. But then you open your eyes and the frustration hits you all over again. Why do you freeze when it matters? Why does your mind go blank, only to become a genius when it's hours too late? It happens to so many of us, especially those of us who are empathetic and non-confrontational. But I want to tell you something critical right now. You didn't go quiet because you're weak. You went quiet because no one ever gave you the script. The problem isn't a lack of courage, it's a lack of training. That script exists, and it's simpler and more powerful than you can imagine. And I'm going to give it to you today. We'll even cover what to do when they try to deflect with that classic excuse, "It was just a joke." Because having a plan for that changes everything. Stay with me, because those shower arguments are about to become a thing of the past. For most of our lives, we're taught to handle rudeness in one of two ways. You either fire back with an equally nasty comment, or you shrink away and say nothing at all. The first option feels aggressive and often escalates the situation, leaving you feeling just as bad. The second option leaves you feeling powerless and disrespected. But what if there's a third path? A smarter, calmer approach that doesn't require you to become someone you're not. A way to disarm rude people instantly, not by overpowering them, but by outthinking them. In this video, I'm going to teach you 4 psychologically backed techniques to do exactly that. We'll explore the power of strategic silence. We'll learn the mirror question that makes them explain themselves. We'll master the art of the calm disagreement. And as promised, we'll build a specific response for when they try to hide behind jokes or call you too sensitive. I'm also going to give you a simple 3-step framework you can use to remember all of this, even when you're under pressure. This isn't about learning a list of clever comebacks. It's about developing an operating system for self-respect. The goal here isn't to win an argument, it's to win your self-respect back, and that is a victory that lasts. Our first tool is the most underestimated weapon in social dynamics: strategic silence. It sounds simple, but its effect is profound. Here's what you do. The next time someone directs a rude or passive-aggressive comment at you, you do nothing. You hold gentle, steady eye contact and let the silence hang in the air. After that silence, you can either change the subject or respond as if their comment was never made. This technique is incredibly effective for a specific psychological reason. Rudeness expects a reaction. It is bait. Your anger, your hurt, your defensiveness, that is the emotional fuel it craves. When you don't provide that fuel, the fire they tried to start has nothing to burn. Your silence starves it. It creates a vacuum, and that vacuum becomes incredibly uncomfortable for the person who was expecting to get a rise out of you. They are left alone on stage, under a spotlight of their own creation. Suddenly, their comment is the only thing in the space, and it begins to sound as hollow and mean as it truly is. This pause proves you are operating from a place of control, not from a place of insecurity. You are not reacting. You are choosing not to engage with their reality. Imagine you're in a team meeting and you've just finished a presentation. Well, that was certainly a creative approach.
The old you might have stumbled trying to defend your work.
Instead, you try the pause. You turn your head slowly, look at them with a neutral expression, and say nothing for 4 long seconds. You don't glare, you simply look. You are not the one who is uncomfortable in this moment. They are. The air crackles with the weight of their own unnecessary comment. Then you turn back to your boss and say, "I'm ready for any questions you might have about the data." You have just demonstrated unflappable confidence. You've shown everyone in that room that their petty games have no power over you. This isn't weakness, this is supreme emotional control. It communicates that you are the one setting the terms of the engagement. You are not a pawn in their emotional game. The silence isn't empty, it's full of power. It's a quiet declaration that you are not available for disrespect. It's a shield that deflects their negativity right back at them. By saying nothing, you say everything. Now, that first technique is great for stopping rudeness in its tracks. But what if the rudeness is more subtle, disguised as a backhanded compliment or a passive-aggressive jab? That brings us to our second tool, the mirror question. This technique is brilliant in its simplicity. When you receive a comment that feels off, you calmly and with genuine curiosity ask a simple question. What do you mean by that? Other variations include, "Could you clarify that for me?" Or, "Can you explain what you mean?" The key is the delivery. It must be delivered without sarcasm, without anger, but with the tone of someone genuinely seeking to understand. The psychological power here is what I call a spotlight reversal. Rudeness is a spotlight they shine on you to make you feel exposed, judged, and uncomfortable. This question calmly takes that spotlight and hands it right back to them. You are refusing to stand in their light. Instead, you're asking them to stand in their own. This forces them into a difficult position. They now have only 2 options. Option 1 is to double down and expose their malice. They have to unpack their rude comment and explicitly state the hurtful thing they were implying. Very few people have the nerve to do this, especially in front of others, because it makes them look petty and cruel. Option 2 is to back down. They'll say something like, "Oh, nothing," or "It was just a compliment," effectively admitting their comment had no real substance. Either way, you win. You have gracefully exposed the game without getting your hands dirty. Let's take an example. Imagine you've recently taken up painting and you show a friend your latest piece. They look at it and say, "Oh wow, I'm surprised you have the patience for something like this." It's a classic backhanded compliment, implying you're normally impatient or unfocused. Instead of getting defensive, you look at them with a neutral, curious expression. "What do you mean by that?" The spotlight is now on them. They have to explain the surprising part. "Oh, well, you're just always so busy and on the go." Their voice trails off because they know, and you know, that the foundation of their comment was a subtle dig. You've made them dissect their own passive aggression, and the power of it dissolves completely. "Ah, I see," and change the subject. You didn't accuse them of anything. You didn't start a fight. You simply held up a mirror to their words and asked them to look at their own reflection. This technique is empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat of the conversation. You are no longer the recipient of their judgment. You are the facilitator of their self-explanation. It's a beautifully strategic move that maintains your grace while completely disarming them. It works wonders on people who love to use passive aggression as their primary weapon. It forces their covert hostility out into the open, and covert hostility wilts under direct light. Using the mirror question is like being a social detective. You're not making accusations, you're just asking for more information. And in that request, their entire strategy falls apart. It's an intelligent, calm, and devastatingly effective way to handle subtle disrespect. You reveal the game without ever having to name it. You let them defeat themselves with their own words. Think about the last time someone gave you a backhanded compliment. How would it have felt to calmly hand that spotlight right back to them? That feeling is control, and it's completely within your reach. Our third technique is for a different kind of rudeness, the unsolicited opinion, the judgmental advice, or the flat-out assertion about your life that is presented as fact. These often come from people we can't easily avoid, like family members or longtime colleagues. In these moments, your tool is the calm disagreement. This involves stating a simple, firm, and non-emotional boundary phrase, and then immediately disengaging or changing the subject. The power phrases are simple. I see it differently. I disagree. That hasn't been my experience. Or even, thank you for your perspective, but I have it handled. The critical follow-up action is to offer no further explanation. You do not defend your position. You do not enter into a debate. The psychological justification here is crucial to understand. This statement isn't an invitation to a debate. It's a declaration of a boundary. It communicates that your reality, your choices, and your experiences are not up for their approval or debate. It's a full stop, not a comma. It calmly and firmly closes the door on a conversation you are not willing to have. By refusing to jade, which stands for justify, argue, defend, or explain, you retain all of your power. You signal that their opinion is just that, an opinion, and it holds no authority over your own truth. Let's paint a picture. You're at a family dinner, and an overbearing aunt says, "You know, you really should be saving more for a house instead of spending money on traveling. It's just not responsible at your age." The comment is judgmental and completely unsolicited. The old you might have launched into a detailed defense of your life choices, listing the benefits of travel and your financial plan. This time, you don't. You take a breath, look at her calmly, and say, "I see it differently." Then you immediately turn to your cousin and ask, "How was your trip to the mountains last week?" You have done two powerful things. First, you have invalidated her frame of authority over your life. Second, you have skillfully redirected the flow of conversation, leaving her no room to argue. She is left holding her unsolicited opinion with nowhere to put it. This technique feels incredibly empowering because it honors your own reality. It's a statement of self-respect. My life is not a topic for your casual judgment. It prevents you from getting dragged into draining, pointless arguments with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Using phrases like "I disagree" can feel confrontational at first, but when delivered calmly and without emotional charge, it's simply a statement of fact. You are stating your internal reality. You are not attacking them. You are protecting yourself. This is how you handle people who believe their opinions should be your rules. You don't fight their reality. You simply reaffirm your own. It's a quiet revolution in how you interact with people who overstep.
It teaches them that your boundaries are not suggestions, they are firm lines.
And you do it all with grace, control, and a deep respect for yourself. Let's get real. A lot of you are probably thinking, this all sounds great, but it won't work on the person I'm dealing with. They'll just use the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. I was just kidding. Or, wow, you're way too sensitive. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. We also have to prepare for how they'll react. This is where most people fail, but you won't. Introducing the Level 2 reply, designed specifically to tackle these frequent concerns. These phrases are designed to be a final checkmate, calmly dismantling their last line of defense. It was just a joke. When someone says this after a clearly rude comment, they are trying to invalidate your reaction. They are trying to reframe their rudeness as your failure to understand humor. Your reply needs to reject that framing. You look at them, again with a calm and curious expression, and say, "Jokes are supposed to be funny. Can you explain the funny part to me?"
This is a brilliant move.
It's a variation of the mirror question, but more direct. You're not accusing them of not being funny. You're innocently asking for an explanation of the humor. Just like before, they are trapped. They either have to attempt to explain why their insult was hilarious, which will make them look foolish and cruel, or they will have to drop it entirely.
You're too sensitive.
This is a classic gaslighting technique intended to make the entire issue your emotional instability. The problem isn't what they said, it's how you reacted. Do not fall for it. Your answer should shift the focus back to their behavior rather than your reaction. My reaction is my own. The issue here is your choice of words. Or even more simply, maybe, but the fact remains that was a rude thing to say. These responses refuse to accept their framing of the situation. You calmly acknowledge the disagreement over sensitivity, then promptly redirect attention to their comment. My sensitivity isn't up for debate. Your comment is. This shuts down their attempt to pathologize your feelings. You are asserting your right to feel however you feel, while holding them accountable for their words. These Level 2 responses are your ace in the hole. They show that you've thought one step ahead. They prove that their lazy conversational traps won't work on you. Using them demonstrates a level of social and emotional intelligence that is deeply intimidating to a person who relies on cheap shots. They realize they are not dealing with an amateur. They are dealing with someone who understands the game better than they do. And that is when they will finally learn to leave you alone. You're not just reacting anymore, you're strategically dismantling their entire playbook. So we've covered 4 powerful tools: the pause, the mirror question, the calm disagreement, and the Level 2 response. But knowing them is one thing, remembering them under pressure is another. That's why we need a simple, memorable framework to bring it all together. This is the ACE framework. It stands for Assess, Choose, and Execute. Think of it as your mental checklist in any difficult social encounter. First, A is for assess. Before you say or do anything, take a mental microsecond to assess the situation. Is this person being intentionally malicious, or are they just clumsy with their words? Is this a one-time encounter with a stranger, or is this a chronic pattern from a family member you have to see every week? This assessment is crucial because it helps you determine the goal. With a stranger, the goal might be to just exit the situation. With a coworker, the goal is to establish a long-term boundary. Next, C is for choose.
Based on your assessment, you choose the right tool for the job.
If it's a blunt, shocking comment, maybe the strategic pause is your best bet to immediately reclaim control. If it's a subtle, passive-aggressive dig, it's the perfect time to pull out the mirror question. If it's unsolicited advice from your mother-in-law, the calm disagreement is your go-to. You don't have to use all of them. You just need to choose the one that best fits the specific rudeness you're facing. Finally, E is for execute. Once you've chosen your tool, you execute it calmly and confidently. And then you disengage. This is key. Do not linger for their reaction. Don't wait for an apology. You've said what you needed to say. The purpose of the execution is to enforce your boundary for your own self-respect, not to get a specific outcome from them. The ACE framework turns a moment of panic into a moment of strategy. It gives your logical brain a task to perform, preventing your emotional brain from taking over and freezing. When you're just starting out, don't try to master everything at once. Pick one technique, maybe the mirror question, and commit to using it the next time an opportunity arises. Just focus on assess, choose, execute. With practice, this process will become second nature. You'll become a master at calmly and effectively handling disrespect. If you're already feeling more equipped to handle these situations, and this is the kind of practical wisdom you want more of, take a second to hit that subscribe button. We're all about building real, applicable skills for a more confident life, and I'd love for you to be part of this community. So we've covered the tools, the tactics, and the ACE framework to put it all into action. But none of this works unless we shift the underlying mindset. Let's go back to that 3 a.m. shower argument from the beginning. The goal isn't just to have a better comeback next time. The real goal is to get so good at this, so calm and confident in the moment, that the shower arguments stop completely. They stop because you handled it perfectly in the moment, and there's nothing left to replay. There is no unresolved tension. You respected yourself, you held your boundary, and you moved on. This isn't just about handling rude people. It's about building an inner core of confidence that is so solid, rude comments bounce right off of it. It's about developing a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on the approval or opinions of others. When you have that, you stop seeing these encounters as personal attacks and start seeing them as data. It's just information about the other person, their insecurities, their lack of emotional control. It's not information about you. The ultimate goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to respect yourself so much that their opinion becomes irrelevant. When you master these techniques, you're not just learning what to say to other people. You're learning what to say to yourself. You're telling yourself that you are worthy of respect. You're telling yourself that your peace is more important than their provocation. And you're telling yourself that you are strong enough to protect it. If you're ready to build that core confidence and transform how you interact with the world, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. I'm committed to giving you the tools you need to become unshakable. Thank you for investing this time in yourself today.